It is time for us once more to gaze into the future and bring to you the playoff lineup that we'll be seeing in January.
For each of the last 33 years, at least 4 new teams have made the playoffs in the NFL that didn't make it the year before.
With the 2023 NFL regular season finally underway, you know what that means. It's time to peer into our crystal ball and see how the 2023/2024 postseason will shake out. Let's dive right into the 2023/2024 NFL postseason predictions. AFC wildcard round. Number 2 Buffalo Bills versus number 7 New York Jets. For the second straight year, Josh Allen and the Bills, A, lock down the number 2 seed, and B, draw a division rival in the wildcard round. Aaron Rodgers' first year in Gotham ends football's longest active playoff drought, which is a minor victory in and of itself for Gangrene. But the Bills are just that much better on both sides of the ball, not to mention that Josh Allen has made easy work of the Jets these last 3 years. The Bills are going to advance in a low-scoring affair. No Super Bowl for A-Rod and the Jets in year 1. Final score, Bills 24, Jets 20. AFC wildcard round. Number 3, Cincinnati Bengals versus number 6 Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, maybe third time's a charm here. The Bengals have hosted their AFC North rivals in 2 wildcard playoff games this century, both of them being losses in 2005 and 2015. Cincy's high-powered offense and stingy defense will make them the first team to win 3 straight AFC North Division titles since Bill Cowher's Steelers claimed 4 in a row from 1994 to 97. Speaking of the Steelers, a second-year QB, Kenny Pickett, will take a major step forward and help the Steelers lock down the franchise's 3rd playoff berth in 40 years. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Cameron Hayward promise to give Joe Cool plenty of headaches in this one. But it's hard to go against Burrow in the jungle, especially with Pickett still growing as a quarterback. Steelers D keeps it close, but the Bengals commit fewer mistakes and reach the Elite 8 for the 3rd straight year. Prediction, Bengals 27, Steelers 24. AFC wildcard round. Number 4, Jacksonville Jaguars versus number 5 Baltimore Ravens. The arrival of Calvin Ridley and the growth of a young defense will leave the Jaguars with little trouble in winning their 2nd straight AFC South Division title. Trevor Lawrence is just too darn good and too darn loaded with weapons for the Jaguars to disappoint again. Winning the division and a playoff game last year was a nice first step. But is this the year that the Jaguars showed that they belong in the upper echelon of AFC contenders? The Ravens will have something to say about that. A healthy Lamar Jackson makes all the difference in the world. Not to mention that the Ravens promise to feature a more balanced offense with new wideouts Odell Beckham Jr., Nelson Aguilar, and rookie Zay Flowers. Unfortunately for Jacksonville, Marcus Williams, Marlon Humphrey, and Kyle Hamilton headline one of the NFL's few secondaries that's actually capable of slowing down their high-powered offense. The Ravens, as always, should have their way in the ground game to win their 2nd playoff game in the Jackson era. Prediction, Ravens 24, Jaguars 23. NFC wildcard round. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles versus number 7 New York Giants. These 2 clubs met at Lincoln Financial Field in the divisional round last January, but Brian Daboll's feel-good Giants club put up no fight against Philly. The Eagles rolled to a 38-7 win to also secure a 3-0 season series sweep of their arch rivals. The G-Men had a nice offseason by adding Paris Campbell, Darren Waller, and Jalen Hyatt to their offense. But come on, let's be real. There's still several tiers below the Eagles unless Daniel Jones goes from solid to MVP caliber. Prediction, Eagles 30, Giants 14. NFC wildcard round. Number 3, New Orleans Saints versus number 6 Seattle Seahawks. Thanks to football's second easiest strength of schedule and an offensive overhaul featuring the arrival of Derek Carr, the Saints finally returned to the postseason after narrowly missing out on it in consecutive years. But they have the misfortune to draw on a dangerous Seattle team that added Devin Witherspoon, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Bobby Wagner, and Draymond Jones to an already stacked roster. Seattle's offensive stars are too much for a slow New Orleans D, and the Legion of Boom 2.0, yes, we said that, gives Carr and company enough fits to clinch Seattle's first postseason win since 2019. Prediction, Seahawks 26, Saints 21. NFC wildcard round. Number 4, Detroit Lions versus number 5 Dallas Cowboys. Thanks to inevitable regression from the Minnesota Vikings, coupled with Aaron Rodgers' departure from Titletown, the Lions will claim their first division title since 1993. Now, if they could just win their first postseason game since 1991. The Lions will be good, but the Dallas Cowboys are better just about everywhere. They have the personnel to slow down Detroit's rush-heavy offense, plus the Amon-Ra St. Brown Jameson Williams receiving duo.
He's so cautious throwing the ball.
Score prediction, Cowboys 31, Lions 24. AFC Divisional Round. number 1 Kansas City Chiefs versus number 5 Baltimore Ravens. Death, taxes, and the Chiefs hosting a divisional round with the chance to host another AFC Championship game. The only thing standing in the way of a 6th straight AFC title appearance is Jackson and the Ravens. Ultimately, Baltimore once again fails to solve its kryptonite in Mahomes. You know, that guy with 12 touchdowns, 2 picks, a 119.1 passer rating, and an average of nearly 370 yards per contest and 4 career meetings. Also, a Chris Jones and George Karlaftis-led defensive line is more than capable of limiting the damage of Baltimore's prolific rushing game. Prediction: Chiefs 31, Ravens 20. AFC Divisional Round. Number 2 Buffalo Bills versus number 3 Cincinnati Bengals. The Chiefs, Bills, and Bengals have established themselves as the 3 AFC heavyweights, but one of them has to go home before the conference championship, and it's been Buffalo each of the last 2 years. Buffalo has the more complete roster on paper, but Joe Burrow and company weren't at all fazed by the rocking Bills Mafia and the snowy-filled conditions at Highmark Stadium last year, cruising to a 27-10 victory in the divisional round. Regardless of how much more star power Buffalo has, this team has yet to show that they can rise to the occasion in big moments. Same opponent, same results. Only this time, the Bills lose an overtime heartbreaker after failing to score on the opening possession in overtime. Evan McPherson is the hero for the Bengals, who are on to their 3rd straight AFC Championship game. Prediction: Bengals 27, Bills 24, overtime. NFC Divisional Round. Number 1 San Francisco 49ers versus number 6 Seattle Seahawks. The sky is the limit for a 49ers team that has Christian McCaffrey for a full regular season, and for a team that hopefully has a full-time healthy and capable starter in Brock Purdy. With football's number 1 defense and a loaded offense led by Purdy, Run CMC, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle, San Fran will lock down the number 1 seed for the first time since their last Super Bowl appearance in 2019. Seattle will keep it close throughout thanks to a revamped defense, but the 49ers D will do just enough to close out a 70s-style defensive slugfest. Prediction: 49ers 23, Seahawks 19. NFC Divisional Round. Number 2 Philadelphia Eagles versus number 5 Dallas Cowboys. As hard as it may be to believe, these historic rivals have only met once in the postseason since 1996. That was back in 2009 when Tony Romo notched his first career postseason game in what would also be Donovan McNabb's final outing as an Eagle. There will be a lot on the line for both teams here. If the Cowboys once again fail to advance to the NFC Championship game, one can only wonder if Jerry Jones will look at sweeping changes. Could Mike McCarthy and/or Dak Prescott be shown the door? The Cowboys are one of the few NFC clubs that can give a star-studded Eagles roster a challenge in a playoff game at Lincoln Financial Field. But Philly is just that much better on both sides of the ball. Plus, unlike Dak, Jalen Hurts has shown that he's built for the big moments. A rematch of last year's NFC Championship game it is. Prediction: Eagles 33, Cowboys 27. AFC Championship game, number 1 Kansas City Chiefs versus number 3 Cincinnati Bengals. For the 3rd straight year, it is Mahomes versus Burrow at Arrowhead Stadium with a trip to Super Bowl 58 on the line. Get your popcorn ready. The Chiefs will certainly be the favorites in this one, but bet against the Bengals at your own risk. Joe Burrow is an extra bounce or 2 away from being a perfect 4-0 against Mahomes. Lou Anarumo's D is the only one that has consistently given Mahomes troubles to date. Look, try as they might, but the Chiefs D hasn't really had any answers for Burrow and his 3-headed monster at receiver. Don't get me wrong, it's always a coin flip when these 2 teams meet, but it simply feels like Cincinnati's time to return the favor in this game of musical chairs. Prediction: Bengals 31, Chiefs 28. NFC Championship, number 1 San Francisco 49ers versus number 2 Philadelphia Eagles. We remain bitter that we didn't get to see the 49ers with a healthy QB in last year's highly anticipated conference championship game in Philly. So fast forward a year later, and both teams will give us the real nail-biter and Oscar-worthy show at Levi's Stadium. The 49ers and Eagles have football's 2 deepest and most complete rosters. Honestly, we'd be shocked if the NFC title game wasn't a rematch from last year. With San Fran's offense at full strength, they can get the ball out to all their explosive pass catchers instead of needing Run CMC to do it all on his own. Philly's D is obviously no joke, but their aging secondary will have a difficult task keeping up with Deebo, McCaffrey, Ayuk et al. Prediction: 49ers 31, Eagles 21. Super Bowl 58, number 1 San Francisco 49ers versus number 3 Cincinnati Bengals. Old-timer fans will recall this as a rematch from the 2 Super Bowl showdowns in the 80s, with Joe Montana's dynastic 49ers defeating the Bengals both times. Well, like we said earlier in the Bengals-Steelers wildcard game entry, 3rd time's a charm. Joe Cool is simply too well, cool under pressure like 49ers legend Joe Montana. The 49ers pass rush will make its plays, but they simply lack the corners to slow down the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd three-headed monster at receiver. Anarumo, the game's ultimate defensive mastermind, will again drop his 8 men in coverage and slow down San Fran's wealth of weapons. Prediction: Bengals 24, 49ers 23. But who do you think will win Super Bowl 58? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.